Okay, so here we are in ChatGPT, which is in the URL chat.openai.com/chat. I'm not going to show you how to create an account here or to log in or any of that. You can find more videos about that on YouTube for free. It's pretty easy. It's pretty self-explanatory. Just create your account, log in, and you're good to go with the normal default ChatGPT 3.5 version. This is the older version, which is the version that we basically only use for super easy tasks or for some calculations or summaries or translations. But this is not the main ChatGPT that we're working with. We are always working with ChatGPT 4, which is the newest version and which costs some money, which is kind of like super low when you compare it to the value that you get from working with ChatGPT full-time, which is like 20 euros per month, 20 bucks, which is nothing. So get yourself the paid account and make sure that you always set every new conversation to GPT-4 when you start out. Otherwise, we tested a lot of different ideas, different stuff. ChatGPT-4 results are just so much better, so much more intelligent, so much more precise. So we work with the version 4. Here it says ChatGPT-4 is currently capped to 25 messages every 3 hours. If you work in one long session, like a 1-2 hour work session, and you give it more than 25 inputs and it generates more than 25 outputs, you're going to have to have a short break, and you just can't do anything with it in this time. Usually that's the time where we take a break, where we go out for lunch, or where we go to the gym, or where we are finished for the night. And yeah, it's okay. It's kind of annoying, but it's okay. It's fine. But I just bought this second account here. That's also why you see that we on the left here, we don't have any existing conversations, because I just bought the second account because we in our team, we have multiple people working in the same account. And if you have 2 people doing 12 messages, you already have the cap. So a second account is pretty much needed for us. But if you're just one person, one account should be fine. But you can also create 2 accounts just for yourself if you use it a lot. And 40 euro per month, still nothing. So that's amazing. There are some settings here. There's some stuff. Overall, the interface isn't super good yet. I'm going to tell you a lot of stuff that you will easily see that it makes a lot of sense to build that into this interface here. For example, if you have long messages, it's kind of hard to copy paste the whole text. What we would need is just a short copy paste button on each message to improve that workflow. So this is nothing that needs to be improved about the AI intelligence itself, but more about this specific interface here. But yeah, we're using this interface here. We're always using this specific site here to work with it. And that's basically where we spend our days working and using the AI. And yeah, this is pretty much it in terms of interface. Here on the left, it says new chat. Again, you see it already defaulted the 3.5 version. So you set it to 4 again, and you put something here like test. And once you do that, it generates a new thread here on the left. It's also automatically named. Sometimes these names are really weird. I had a situation where I just started a conversation like this, and it named the whole conversation in Spanish, which is quite weird. And then you can go in here and you can name it with whatever project or problem you're working on. And then you have different conversations, and all these different conversations all can have differently primed AIs. So you can work on multiple projects simultaneously within the same browser with different, so to say, pre-learned, pre-primed ChatGPTs while you use them in parallel. The only thing that you need to make sure is that if you have written something here in the text, like a long briefing or something, sometimes your briefing is can get really long, especially if you want to make sure that you send as few messages as possible. Sometimes these messages get so long because you try to put so much into it because of this 25 messages cap. So if you have a long briefing here and you click on a different conversation, this briefing is, this text message is not saved. So the whole message is gone. So what we do is we basically always have an empty Google Docs page open where we have our briefings here, or sometimes I craft really long messages here because I don't want to copy paste everything into this small field, because sometimes I want to have like a spacing here, and then you click it and it sends the message, and then it already answers you, and that might disrupt your workflow. So I sometimes craft my whole messages here, especially really long ones, and then I just copy paste them into this field, and then I click enter and it generates me the message. Yeah, so that's pretty much everything that you need to know in terms of this user phase. I mean, it's pretty easy to understand, and you will really easily get the hang of it. And yeah, now in the next videos, we're going to start with our first prompts, our first ideas, and go from there.